When I first became a broker salesperson in Las Vegas, I turned to real estate Facebook groups and podcasts, and I came across Karen Cooper. Her Facebook group, Empowering Women in Real Estate, has nearly 30,000 followers, and I love listening to her podcast every week as I drive into the office from Southern Highlands to Tivoli Village. I find Karen's podcast super informative as she shares her tips and secrets as a real estate mom, a mompreneur, and as she manifests her day being a mom to 3 sons. So I was super excited when I reached out to Karen on Facebook to see if she was interested in interviewing with me, and she said absolutely. So I hope you enjoyed this pre-recorded Zoom interview that I had with Karen. I absolutely love hearing her and just getting to know her as a person. If anybody watching has any real estate needs in the Washington, D.C. area, she is my go-to person. I hope you enjoy this interview. Stay with me till the very end so I can hear your biggest takeaway from this interview and Karen Cooper's story. So thank you, Karen, so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm excited for us to have this conversation.
Absolutely. So I'll start with your bio. Super impressive bio here. So Karen Cooper is a wife, mom to 3 sons, and owner of Platinum Group real estate team at Pearson Smith Realty, a team of 39 phenomenal women and moms based in Northern Virginia. Licensed since 2002, she personally helped well over 700 families during her career and has a vast experience, having been an agent on the Rainmaker team, an individual agent, a managing broker, and now a team owner and real estate coach. A recognized expert, she's been featured on several local, regional, and global podcasts and has been a speaker at women's real estate and business conferences. Passionate about helping women in the real estate industry, she is the founder of Empowering Women in Real Estate with over 27,000 members nationwide, host of Empowering Women in Real Estate, the podcast, and the principal behind. So welcome, Karen. How are you?
Thank you so
much.
I'm great. I'm excited to talk to another, passionate woman in real estate. So.
Thank you so much. So just to start off, I'm a huge fan of your podcast. I listen to it every Wednesday. Your content is phenomenal. And as a newer agent, this is my 2nd year now, having someone like you share your tips and secrets and recommendations as a mom, as a business owner, as a successful, dynamic woman, I think that goes a long way. And, we're all in this together and we're all sharing the same things that you are. And so it just wanted to share with you how from the bottom of my heart, I love listening to your podcast. I love everything that you're doing to empower all of us. And I think we all need that support system, right? We need someone to kind of share that experience that we're all going through. Yeah. And I think you're just doing a phenomenal job. So thank you.
Well, you summed it up. We could stop the video because you really summed up in what you said exactly what I love to do and what I'm so passionate about, because we don't need to compete with each other. Right. We need to support each other. Right. And we're all better together and by supporting each other and doing it together. And I love nothing more than sharing my success, other women's success, because hearing that someone else has done it helps you to feel like, oh my gosh, I could do that too. And when you're sharing your struggles, I can't tell you how many times over the last many years, women have said to me, oh my gosh, me too. I thought I was the only one. And so you really kind of summed up beautifully, I think, probably what we're going to talk about today.
Absolutely. So Karen, first of all, share with us your story, where you're from, how long have you been doing, real estate, which markets you cover?
Sure. So I live in a tiny little town in Northern Virginia called Lovettsville, and my family has been here literally for 300 years. So my family came here from Germany, amongst the first earliest settlers here in this little town of 2,700 addresses. We are about 90 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. So my business and my team's business really kind of serves that whole D.C. metro area. It is a really nice area because so many of our residents do commute into Washington, D.C. So they get kind of that rural lifestyle, but can work in the city and be so close to the city. I have been in real estate for 19 years. when I started in real estate, I always say it was an accident, but we know it wasn't an accident because there is no such thing. And I had worked in the pharmaceutical industry and I was getting laid off, and I had been laid off before because, you know, like the hub for pharmaceuticals is not in where I was working. It's more like in New Jersey. And I had the opportunity to move, but you heard what I just said about where I live, right? And how long my family's been here. I wasn't going to relocate. It didn't make sense to me. And I just so happened, my then fiance and I had purchased a home for sale by owner. We knew the owners, they knew we were getting married. It just kind of came together like that. And I was the person, I also had my own home that I sold at that time. And I was the person who was kind of walking everybody through the transaction. I got the contract from the title company. You know, back then we didn't have, you know, Zillow and Realtor.com and all of those things. So I was online, I was in the newspaper finding comps for everybody. And so when I found out I was getting laid off, I thought, wow, you know, I can relocate or I can do something different. And that something different that I chose was real estate. And it's been 19 years. I like to say I have held every position that there is. I started on a rainmaker team, you know, where all my business was really kind of provided for me. And then I've been an independent agent. I've spent time as a managing broker. And then of course now as a team leader, team owner, and a real estate coach. And
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then talk to us about obviously raising your 3 sons during this whole time, right?
Yes. So I have 3 sons. My boys are 17, 15, and my youngest will be 12 on Saturday. And they've all been born since I've been in business. And, you know, it really has been a blessing to be able to be in real estate and be a mom at the same time. It is very difficult. You know, the schedule can be very grueling. I say often it's like the most flexible and the least flexible. Like I get to kind of pick when I'm going to work and control my schedule, but there's also an element that I don't get to control, right? The house just comes on the market and the buyer has to go right now. And so it's kind of constant, but being able to have my real estate career and raising my children gave me the opportunity to, you know, I always volunteered in their classrooms, and you know, I rarely miss their activities. And real estate has really given me the flexibility to be able to do that and also provide for my family in a very significant way. So I'm obviously very passionate about that as a career for women.
That's amazing. And, you know, you talk about obviously your tips and tricks on how to make that happen, right? Obviously it's not easy. And, you know, you've got 3 sons, I've got 2 daughters, but it's always multitasking, right? Like who's going to be picking them up? Who's going to be taking them to the after school activities? Yeah. And I love how you use the word appointment for all of your appointments. That's also family related, right? Talk to us about that.
That's right. Yeah. So that was really a gift that was given to me my very first day in real estate. You know, children weren't even on my radar screen at that time. Yeah. And I was meeting with an agent in my office, and he was kind of sharing with me, you know, some different strategies and some tips and things. And there's 2 things that he taught me that day that I have held on to for all of this time. And I have taught and shared thousands of times. And one of them was, every single thing is an appointment. So it doesn't matter if tonight I have my son's baseball game, I have an appointment. It doesn't matter if it's a doctor's appointment. It doesn't matter if it's date night. Everything is an appointment. And, you know, the thing is that people are inherently selfish. And even though your clients may love and respect that you're also a mom, you know, there's that little thought of, oh, I don't want to bother her because she's with her children, or, oh, you know, I know her son has that game tonight. Let me just call the listing agent, right? And so you can kind of get into so I prefer to keep that separate. And it's been very rare that I've kind of shared personally with my clients, hey, I have this with my children. The other, and then I'll share with you the other great lesson I learned on that very first day in business, which was never, when somebody wants to set an appointment with you, and especially when you're new, you're so excited that somebody wants to make an appointment with you, but it's like, oh my God, yes, whenever. Yes. And so, but you never want to say, sure, when would you like to meet? Because you've done several things. One, they're guaranteed to pick the one time on your schedule when you have something else happening.
Right.
And then number 2, you kind of set that sort of precedence or that kind of expectation that you're just available whenever they are. So you always want to say, great, I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet with you. How about today at 10 or tomorrow at 2 or whatever that is. Yep. 98% of the time they'll pick one of those times.
that's a great feedback. I mean, it's all perception, right? And again, presenting, you know, everything that you do for your kids as an appointment, I think that's a huge kind of, it's a magical word, honestly, like, you know, because you don't have to explain what you're doing.
Right.
And sometimes I use that to my husband too. I have an appointment and I don't have to kind of share with them exactly what I'm doing. Am I showing a home? Am I filming? Like, just an appointment kind of covers all of that, right?
That's
and I love giving your clients the option so that it also helps you with your time management. You don't want to be available all the time or set that expectation.
That's right.
Right. So I think that's a genius advice and tip. So I absolutely love that. That was one of my first takeaways from your podcast. So Karen, how did you come up with, you know, obviously your Facebook group and your podcast? What just kind of initiated that through your journey?
Yeah, so that was about 7 years ago. I founded the group Empowering Women in Real Estate on Facebook, which we're now, I think we just hit like 28,000 members. And
congratulations.
Thank you. It was actually, it was very selfish. I was lonely. I felt very lonely. I had transitioned from real estate sales over to being a managing broker. Yep. And so I was in this different role. And so my kind of tribe, my friends that I was used to spending my days with, I wasn't really, we were kind of at different places. And as a managing broker, people only want to talk to you when they have a problem, right? Think about when you call your managing broker. And if I was calling other agents for recruiting purposes, which was part of my job, they didn't want to talk to me because they were afraid I was going to try to recruit them. So I was just feeling very lonely. Like I craved that connection with women who understood, who were in the business, who could kind of understand the things that I was going through, that I had been through. And so I got this idea in the shower one day and I started this Facebook group, and it has grown and grown and grown. And we've had meetups in cities all across the country. We just had a huge celebration event in July. That led into our podcast, which we are now going into. We're almost done with year 2 of the podcast.
That's amazing.
And our coaching group. And so it's been one of the greatest blessings for me from a career perspective. You know, I love helping buyers and sellers. I love my clients, but this has been more than I ever would have expected.
And talk to us about your coaching program. I think a lot of our viewers here would be interested, and they may be interested in signing up as well.
Yeah, sure. So I have this wonderful team, and I have this process that you've heard me, right? I'm all about systems, all about the systems, all about the processes. And I have these great systems for staying in touch. I do business by referral. It's what my team does. Here we are now in early September, and our team has already closed over $200 million in sales volume at this point. Wow. And it's almost exclusively done by referral. And so we have a great system for doing that. And I've heard consistently from women, and you see it in the group, how do I stay in touch? How do I do this authentically? Should I, buy Zillow leads? Should I do this? Should I do that? And so we have packaged the system that we know works, and it's what I offer through our monthly membership coaching program. You can learn more about that if anybody's curious at empoweringwomeninrealestate.com, and just click on coaching, and all the information you need is right there.
Absolutely. Well, make sure I put that link in the bio here. And I believe it's a monthly fee, and there's no long-term contract, right?
Right. As of right now, through the end of September, it is only $59 per month. We're doing a whole back end overhaul, which is going to make everything so much easier to implement. So pricing is going up. Yep. It's strictly month to month. And I always say it, and I mean it, cancel anytime, no hard feelings, because if it's not right for you, if it's not what you need right now in your business,
right,
it's fine.
Wonderful. And then, so what's kind of like your long-term goal, or maybe like a 3-year goal? Like, I know you've mentioned in some of your Facebook posts, I think you really want to kind of, focus more on other platforms like, Instagram, for example, because it reaches a total different, audience, right? Is that something in like your future? Like, what's kind of like bubbling in your mind right now? I'm sure you have a lot.
Oh my gosh, it's like the $1 million question. And my business partner and I talk about this all the time, because I'm honestly not sure. And I think you're not supposed to say that, but for me, I'm like, I have trouble seeing past 1 year. So I tend to be like, I get very focused on my 1 year goal, and then kind of go from there. I mean, I think a direction that I'm moving towards that I feel is definitely pulling more into what my purpose is, to have impact. That's what I believe. My purpose is to impact and help as many women in this industry as possible. And I love doing that through my team. I love doing that through my Empowering Women in Real Estate platform. And through that platform, I'm able to do it more and more and more. And that's the direction that I'm really moving towards.
That's wonderful. And I think, your energy and your inspiration definitely helps everybody. Just know that all the people that are following you, the 28,000, that you're impacting all of our lives. And sometimes, I don't know if you stop and acknowledge, because, as women, we don't do that enough. But I really want you today to let you know that, you've changed so many lives, and you continue to do that. I can't wait to meet you in person in Vegas, or I'll just need to come out to see you in DC.
Yes.
But, I think maybe, are you interested in maybe doing more like guest speaking engagements in the future?
I don't know. I've done it a few times. I hate to travel. You've probably heard me talk about that before. I'm very much a homebody. I'm an anxious traveler, so I don't do a lot of that. I like speaking at my own events. I love things like this. I love your channel, and I love, I've done some Facebook Lives and some Zooms for people before, and I really enjoy that. Do I see, but I don't necessarily, I can't say that I really see myself ever being on somebody else's stage somewhere talking about something.
Gotcha. So more on the virtual side. And I think now, everything has changed since the pandemic, right?
Yes.
We're all working from home. We're using all these,
That's
technology now where you could obviously do things remotely. And I think there's definitely coaching opportunities online as well, like you offer.
It's been a game changer. And, and for me also, I think partly it's just the season that I'm in right now with my kids as a mom. My priority always has been, it's work or it's my family, my kids. And so that's just where I am right now. And, they're getting older. So as time goes on, that will shift a little bit, but
of course,
that's where I choose to put all of my focus. And if it's not one of those two things, it doesn't happen.
So I think a lot of women ask you all this time, because a lot of my, my clients, my friends ask me all the time, so like, Karen, how do you do it? Right? How are you the super mom? How are you a successful entrepreneur? Like, what's your secret? Or if you were able to kind of share with us kind of your biggest tips and takeaway, what would that be?
Yeah. So first of all, I don't, and I regularly am not good at it. I've been going through a season right now where I feel like I'm not necessarily good at it, which is always so funny when I'm having these conversations, because life constantly is changing. And I'm at that phase in my life where not only do I have kids, but I have older family members, parents that also need to be taken care of. And so it kind of puts you in a kind of an interesting spot. The key for me has been a couple of things. A lot of times it means lowering expectations. And that sounds bad to say I'm going to lower my expectations, but it is okay to lower your expectations in some places. For example, my kids, they've been taught how to do laundry. They do their own laundry. My preference, my expectation would be I would love to see their laundry all done and folded and put away nicely in the drawer and hung up neatly on the hanger. But the reality is it's hanging out of the drawers, and it might sit in the basket for 2 weeks, and it's barely hanging on the hanger in their closet. And so it might look a little wrinkled. So it's okay to lower my expectations there, because that's not super important to me. Right. And so lowering expectations in some areas for me has been a big one. Getting help as much as you can. I do have a lot of help in my career. I have now started to get to where I can have help at home in different seasons. And that even when you're new, and if you're not making as much money at first, that's always part of the struggle. You can start small, starting with a runner. I love a runner as a great first hire, and that person can help you personally. That person can help you business. But think about all the things that we do that take up so much time, and often it's that running around. And that can be a great economical place. You're employing another woman, you're helping her, assuming you hire a woman, helping her family as well. And then just kind of understanding that things change. When I think about, COVID aside, when I think about my life even 2 years ago and where my kids were 2 years ago to where we are now, it's constantly changing. So you can't get too married. I'm a big systems person, but I can't get too married to my systems, because there comes a time, you see your daughters grow. Like, it's amazing to see how they've grown and changed, and that continues to happen. And so we have to grow and change and evolve too. That helps to kind of facilitate the getting all the things done.
Oh, that's amazing. And I think, we could all take away from that. And, it's not easy, right? So sometimes you just have to share these struggles and, share your stories. And I think you've been able to provide that platform where we can exchange information on a daily basis. And I think that's super wonderful. And obviously it came from your idea in the shower. This is something new that I learned today. But, out of your need, you're empowering and assisting all these women that are trying to make it in the industry. And as you know, it's not easy. And I know you talk about it. You talk about how to, your focus on the database. I just heard your recent podcast about, being authentic, being about you. You're not for everybody. And a lot of agents have this, myth or like a misunderstanding to think that you have to be a realtor or an agent for everybody in your market. And that's not how it's supposed to be, right? You attract the people you want to focus on. And being focused is such a key element in our industry. And, I learned so much from you, Karen, every week. I was just so excited when you wrote back and you agreed to this, because I want more women, in our industry to know about you, so we could all take away these amazing life, advices from you and help us obviously grow our business. And again, everyone has their different kind of priorities, right? Some people might be doing this part-time or just, but again, for me, I think real estate is all in or not. You can't kind of do it part-time, just because obviously, when you start doing the marketing and all the different, branding and what have you, it's a lot of investment and time, energy spent.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I probably on one hand, can I think of the number of agents that I know that have done it successfully as kind of dual career. It's very difficult to do. It's hard enough to get moving in their business. You're your second year in, you remember what it was like in the very beginning, and it's so difficult. And to try to do that and have your focus also split on something else, I think just really increases the failure rate. And I think that's part of why there is such a high failure rate with real estate agents, because it's hard. You have to have money saved up. You can go 6 months, a year before you ever get your first commission. Right. And so it's really challenging. But, I think that's one of the things that I'm just so passionate about, is that it can be done. And I'm not interested in the people who tell me, you can't do it, or it's going to be too hard, or, you can't do it without me. I've had brokers say that before, you absolutely can make the decisions. It's going to be hard work, but it can be done, and it can be a game changer for your family.
Absolutely.
And that's the message.
I love that. So lastly, Karen, talk to us about your market. Are you seeing multiple offers? Is it super competitive? Like, are you waiving contingencies? Like, what's going on in the DC market?
Yeah, so we were. So it had been crazy here. We're September now. So, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, it was insane. People waived everything. 100,000 over list price was not unusual. Just absolutely insane. It has slowed a little bit through the summer. We've seen a little bit of normalcy, but still in pockets. There's still certain areas, certain properties that we have that high level of competition. But others, people have been able to get contingencies through, and they've only had to pay full price.
I know, which is crazy, right?
Yes. Right? Incredible. How is that where you are? Is that the same?
We were definitely seeing a slowdown now, but still, multiple offers, especially in the medium price. But for the first time in Las Vegas, we hit over 400,000 in our medium price in July and August. So we're at 407,000 medium price, which is crazy for us because we were so used to the mid 300s.
Yes. Yeah. That's
so again, so many people moving from the West Coast, just tired of, obviously all the tax savings that they could do here. We have no state income, just the affordability and the lifestyle. We've got everything here, minus the beach, obviously. That's a big factor for a lot of people. But I don't advise my clients to waive anything, especially inspection. You just never know with the house. But I heard from other agents in the East Coast that they are waiving inspection. I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy, especially older homes.
So crazy. And we've seen a few lawsuits because of it. People get in and we've had a lot of buyers that have had to make offers, again, not right now, a few months ago, making offers sight unseen. Like they can't even get in to see it, but they're submitting these crazy high offers, waiving everything. The first time they see it is, walkthrough day. And so we've definitely seen some issues with that. I'm glad that we seem to be moving away from that, because there's so much liability for everyone involved. And it's just better for everybody just to be clear and know what they're purchasing, and the seller knows what they're selling. And it's, it's just a much better, I prefer a balanced market. I've lived through it really bad and really good, and balanced is where it's at.
Balance is great for both work-life balance that you're obviously helping us achieve, as well as the market, right?
Yes,
so wonderful.
Sure.
Well, Karen, thank you so much for your time. Any last remarks to our viewers? Obviously, I'll have all your information below. So any of you watching that want to, connect with Karen, please do, especially through her social media platforms. Any last remarks?
No, that's about it. I love what you do here. I love how you highlight and promote other women, and particularly female business owners. Instagram is my very favorite place to connect. So I'm Karen.w.Cooper over there. And if you're not already in our Empowering Women in Real Estate group on Facebook, please go check it out.
Absolutely. I'm an active member, and you definitely have to, get engaged and just connect with everybody there. We're all experiencing the same thing. If we could help each other, especially with referrals, that's a huge part of our business that a lot of people don't think about. But you may have buyers that may be interested in other parts of the U.S. And if you have a network of all these women right there in front of you, you could definitely leverage them. So I absolutely love that.
We have multiple posts, as you know, every day of people looking for referral agents in different places. So
I love how you're creating this platform for women to do businesses right there on your Facebook page.
Yes.
That's incredible. All right, Karen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Look forward to, connecting with you further. And again, for those of you that are new to my channel, if you love the content that I have here, please make sure to subscribe, like and comment. I'll have Karen's information below, so you can reach out to her and you can connect with her there. Make sure you definitely subscribe to her podcast, because it's amazing. All right, thank you so much, Karen. All right, bye.
So what did you all think about my interview with Karen Cooper? Isn't she amazing? I really appreciate you watching till the very end, and I'd love to hear what your biggest takeaway was. So make sure you comment below, and if you're new to my channel, please make sure you like, subscribe, and engage with me. Again, this is Kaori Nagao, your Las Vegas lifestyle specialist. See you on the next one.